I did grow up in a dysfunctional, very interesting home where my parents were together, but there was my mother. She introduced me to drugs and sex by the time I was 12. I ended up, being drug addicted, and my mom began to give me Oxycontin, which is a very high, potent pain narcotic prescribed. And that began our relationship of drug use together. Needed to get away from the dysfunction. And so I left, but then about 7 months later, my mom came and kind of reeled me back in. And so at that point, I had gotten pregnant with Jess and just was not ready to be a mom. I just went downhill all over again with the drugs, and then eventually started using methamphetamines. And I was skin and bones, picked apart, a nightmare, a walking dead, just very sad, a sad scene. I was just crying out for help, and so I had thought, well, what am I going to do? So then I decided to call Mama's Hands, and eventually I got a phone screen. And the moment I met Marcia and Denny, just complete open arms and open hands and open hearts to come and let us come in so they can be a help to us. And I just was in tears. I just felt so hopeful, and so I knew when she gave me the okay, and when I came and saw the beautiful home, and the moment I walked in, I just was imagining myself all around the house, just functioning, and truly feel at home at Mama's Hands, and really just cherishing this time. Praise God for Mama's Hands and House of Hope, and I feel welcomed and loved. I feel it's a home. It is a home. It's not like a facility, so I'm just really enjoying the time we get to be there.
Kitale, Kenya, Africa, a place where life is brutal for men and even worse for women and children. Famine, war, and deadly disease are facts of daily life. This is the world that Miriam Machuri was born into. Unspeakable horrors filled her childhood. As a mother, she couldn't bear the thought of her 2 little boys growing up in such a hopeless environment. Miriam found an opportunity to come to America. She spent her life savings on airfare for herself and her 2 boys, Peter and James. She left her abusive husband behind and headed off to a new life. She landed in Massachusetts, where she first tried to make ends meet. Unable to get a job and in desperate need of food and shelter for her little family, Miriam found herself on her knees praying, "Please help me, please help me." The following day, she was told that she could find help if she was in Seattle. She borrowed money from a friend and headed out on still another adventure. After a little research, Miriam found Mama's Hands. They arrived on a cold and wet February morning. They were home now, ready to begin a life anew. Mama's Hands is so grateful to have been a part of Miriam's journey.
House of Hope. I remember it as, I remember it as the same way I remember home, because it was my second home here and my first home in America. So, and it also gave me a footing. So, I remember it with fond memories. And when I got to House of Hope, I felt like I was home, and even my kids, when we got there, they were like, oh, when we went for an interview, my kids said, "Oh, Mom, let's stay here, let's live here," because they really liked the place. They saw there were toys, and they really liked the place. And so when we started living there, we felt we were home. I was welcome. I felt I was at home, and my kids were comfortable, and we had food, we had place to sleep. My kids had their own beds and I had mine, and so we felt we were comfortable and we were home. And then I had even a chance to go back to school and did medical receptionist for 6 months. And even before I finished the 6 months, I got a job with Habitat as an office manager. And my life was coming along, and I felt I was blessed to have Mama's hands. And I've been happy with my children because we got an apartment, and that's where we live for 2 years now, and we're happy.